The media ministry is dear to the heart of God because it fulfills a major mandate that God has given unto us all Christians. He has commanded us to go into the world and preach the gospel of Christ to every creature. So the media ministry serves as a vehicle to convey the word of God even to uttermost part of the earth, where it may be humanly impossible for many of us to go to physically. I, for one, I believe that Jesus saw the time that we're living in. And he was not necessarily talking about people going physically everywhere to preach the word of God, but using technology as we do in the media ministry to reach others that are even in countries where preaching the word of God is not allowed. The work of the media ministry does not end in the church. It transcends. It is a work that touches life beyond the four walls of a church. There are many people living in countries where preaching the gospel of Christ is totally forbidden. But by the help of the media ministry and leveraging social media and also through television and radio ministries, this information, these messages of Christ have been preached in these countries and to these people, and lives have been changed. We cannot overemphasize the importance of media ministry in mission work. There are many missionaries all over the world doing amazing works, going to uncharted territories and taking with them the gospel of Christ to the remotest part of the world. But oftentimes they do not have the necessary skills or time to tell these incredible stories. The media ministry is that vehicle that God is using to tell these incredible stories. By recording all these events on the mission field, the crusades, the testimonies, and all the works that God is doing in all these places, we are able to take this message of Christ and share with a wider audience. So the supporters of these missionaries are able to see what God is doing with their resources that they have committed to those mission fields. And also, we're able to share with those who are contemplating whether to go to a mission field or not. So as you can see, the work of the media ministry on the mission field is something that is very important and must be given an utmost priority on every mission field that are out there, no matter how small it is. The media ministry is not a standalone ministry. It's a ministry that collaborates with other ministries to ensure that the message of Christ is delivered to every nook and cranny of our world. Recently we were at Barbados, where we supported the brethren over there on the mission field to record and to make sure there's a good coverage of the events that occurred at the mission field. And sometimes when we go to some places, they do not have the kind of exposure that we have to some technologies. So we are able to provide some trainings on how to use some equipment. I remember last year when we went to Dominica, we found out that the church over there did not even have a good camera to record their services. So the camera that we took with us, we had to leave that camera with them. So the technology know-how that we take with us also constitute a great part of this media impact that we end up making wherever we go to. We live in a time where everybody has a platform, a time where social media has transformed into a vehicle where anybody can put out any message out there, whether it be for good or for evil. But what else could be more important than using that same platform to share the word of God? In the media ministry, this is a technology that we have embraced wholeheartedly and we're using for disseminating the word of God. So in TKP, for example, we make sure that all our services are transmitted or streamed live on different social media platforms, on Facebook and also on YouTube. Sometimes we even share on Instagram. So, and we encourage any church out there to do the same thing, because we live in the end times where The word of God is becoming more scarce. He's not that popular to preach the word of God. So if we could embrace this platform that God has given us, I believe that we can reach as many souls as possible. One thing I've learned in the media ministry is that when you are contemplating joining and you think that you probably do not have the necessary skills and experience to work in the media ministry, most times that is not true. So if you're thinking about joining the media ministry, I want to encourage your heart that this is the time to do that, to make that commitment. The most important thing is you having that willingness and obeying the voice of the Spirit. I totally believe that there's a grace that God releases when you obey His voice. And when you obey Him, He gives you the grace to learn everything that you need to learn to become and to add value to His work. So do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. Just make that leap of faith and see how God will work it out for you.